I think Leanne would be cool if I never drank again. She doesn't care. She's like,
I'm sure.
She's like, it's nice that you drive home. But like I fall asleep real easily now. Like I was watching the Dodgers game. I was like at my sister's in the 5th inning. I started falling asleep, and then I came home and I ended up watching it till the end. But then like I sleep really good.
You sleep really good with the alcohol. Oh, dude, when I get really drunk, the back of my throat relaxes because I have like a little apnea problem. Yeah. Not like severe. Something happens. My whole thing just relaxes. I sleep like a fucking baby.
Do you drink much?
No, never.
You've never been much of a boozer.
I'm Jewish. I can't drink.
You still smoke weed?
No, can't do it.
Really?
I mean, I could, but then I eat a lot, and it just affects me in different ways. Where are you with stand up right now? Because I feel like the story I love is tell me if I got this right, that Bill Burr and Joe Rogan like pulled you aside and were like, what are you doing? Get off this TV show. Yeah. Is that what happened, really?
Yeah.
You told me that story.
Probably, yeah.
And
it was a very pivotal moment.
Did?
Yeah. Yep. Technically, I mean, so what happened
How do you just call this is what I could never call Travel Channel and walk away.
I'll tell you, it was through the back door, meaning I'm with them. I'm lying to myself. I didn't realize how often and I think booze had a lot to do with this, where I would give myself a dialogue that I liked hearing.
Right.
When Ralphie died, I realized me and him used to lie to ourselves. Oh no!
Jesus, yeah, that was recent.
Oh yeah, and so we would lie to each other all the time. It was one of our favorite things to do, is just call each other and lie to each other.
Really?
Yeah, I'd tell him what I wanted to hear, and then he'd tell me what he wanted to hear, and then we'd say goodbye and we love each other.
Would you comment on the fact that you were lying to each other, or it was just unspoken?
No, I just hear him out. Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck them. Your heart's in good shape. Yeah, dude, you got it under control. So what? It's a little weed. Yeah, you're fine. Oh yeah, I know, man. Dude, my drinking, I barely there are nights I don't drink. Whatever our lies were, we just do it back and forth to each other.
Two enablers.
Yeah, and I believe that was stand up. I was like, I'm doing travel, but I'm still doing stand up.
Right.
I'm still on the road. I'm still doing spots. I wasn't doing spots in the city. I was on the road whenever my schedule allowed, but it wasn't enough.
Right.
And Bill and Joe just saw it, and they were just like, I had said something about sprinkling hair in. I would sprinkle hair in for Travel Channel, like just to cover my bald spot. And I guess that really aggravated Bill. And he was like, why? Fucking why? Why? Who the fuck? Do you think people are tuning in because you're good looking? And I was like, by the way, I'm probably 265 at the time. And I'm like, huh? He's like, you're not a fucking model, bro. You're not a fucking model. Ugh. What the fuck are you doing on that network? And I think that's where it probably came off from. And then him and Joe were just sitting back there, and they have a inclination for brutal honesty sometimes.
Yeah.
But very on both sides of the spectrum. I don't mean to say that like Bill and Joe independently are just bullies. I don't want to make it sound like that, because I've had moments with both of them
I have those
where they're
people
both very
life.
sweet and supportive,
Sure.
like really supportive. But they just were both sitting back there, and they're like, what are you doing on that network? You're not even doing stand-up. Like, what the fuck? It was like one of the one times I was at the store, and they're like, you're never around. You don't do spots. You're not doing the fucking road. And in my head, I was like, I'm doing the road. But I wasn't. I wasn't doing it the way I'm doing it. I had an hour offer from Showtime that I just would let expire, and then they'd renew it, and I just let it expire.
Oh, really? Because you didn't have time to work the hour up.
Yeah. And so I had that conversation with them. I was saying these things in my head about like my career or whatever, and then I went to therapy. They got a new president of Travel Channel, and she wanted to have lunch. And I talked to my therapist, and I said to my therapist, in my head, I was like, I need them to renew my deal so that I can pay for things. That's the way.
Right.
But Bill and Joe, their thing was, what's your nut? What do you need to make a year? Mm-hmm. And I told them. And Bill did the math, and he was like, and Bill's math and Joe's math is always skewed because they're selling so many tickets. I don't think they could ever imagine what I was making. Right. But Bill probably more than Joe, because I think Bill did the same circuits I did, as opposed Joe didn't. Joe did a very different scene than I did. He was on news radio and that. But Bill looked and he's like, dude, you can make that from the road in your podcast. He's like, dude, focus on your podcast. Focus on your podcast. Focus on the road. You can make that. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. Told my therapist about it. Had therapy, and he said, well, what do you want? I said, I would love for Bill and Joe to respect me. Like, I would love for them to not have that feeling where they looked at me and they were like, your show sucks. You're not doing the right thing. And I was like, he was like, well, what do you want from travel? And I said, I don't want to ride roller coasters. He said, say that. I said, what? He goes, tell him you don't want to ride roller coasters. If you really don't want to ride roller coasters, don't sign up to ride roller coasters for 4 more years. Like, don't do it. You're wasting your life. And I had said that. And so I was like, yeah. So I went into the meeting. She's like, so tell me what you're thinking. And I said to her Courtney White, I think is her name. I said, I don't want to ride roller coasters. I said, she goes, okay. I said, I'm 43 at the time. I was like, I don't want to ride roller coasters. I want to do my own thing. I want it to be big and I want it to be bold and I want it to really be me. And she was like, okay. So I think I said, I want to do this hour special at Showtime. And I knew that I could never do an hour special while I was at Travel Channel because they would be able to go in and say, you can't tell that joke.
Yeah.
And so she was like, all right, okay, cool. This has been a great meeting. And then they called up and they're like, we're not going to renew your option. And I was like, and obviously it's because
What did that feel like? That must have felt scary. Yeah.
It was terrifying, dude.
I would be so fucked, especially because we have kids. I don't know if Bill Burr and Joe Rogan have kids, but
Bill does. So does Joe. Yeah.
They both have kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was terrifying because I thought
they talk about kids. I feel like they never talk about their kids.
Well, Joe and Bill are both new dads. Joe's had kids for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think
they're new dads.
Bill's a brand new dad.
Oh, he is.
And Joe's kids are, I think, I don't know how old they are, but they're not like
I would like
13
to hear
and 11.
Right. Yeah, it's so scary, right? To say that. I would be so scared.
Dude,
Why do you think I do YouTube?
I was terrified.
Because the money's great.
Yeah.
And I like it, but it's first and foremost like I never want to be broke again.
Oh, it was really scary feeling knowing, and we were starting demolition on our house to redo it.
Yeah.
The day I got the phone call, they were doing demo in the house.
Wow.
The day I got the phone call, and I was supposed to do a Funny or Die tour, and I got 12. They canceled 12 dates, and they were all 12 of my dates, so I lost that. I had rebooked my entire fall to accommodate this tour, so now I had no work from like October to December.
So what did you do for those 2 months?
I got sick and I sat in this house and I was like, and I fucking drank probably. I didn't do shit. My hour special came out in November to no avail. Like no one gave a fuck. I sent it to Ethan Klein. I'm friends with Ethan Klein, H3H3. Mm-hmm. I sent it to Ethan Klein. He watched it. The only person that whole time I sent him the whole link. I was like, hey, just watch it. Because we were talking back and forth. And he was like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. That's amazing. And I was like, that's the only feedback I got about this goddamn special the whole time.
Oh, wow.
And then in December, like 27th, the Machine story went viral. And I'd never had anything go viral.
Right.
And it changed everything. It changed.
That was that last year?
It was 1 year ago almost, roughly.
Wow.
And I was doing the weight loss challenge, which I would say much like when you say that you guys all live together and you create together, it was an organic, me and Segura, Ari and Joe kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we did 2 podcasts right when the Machine story was going viral that were really big. And then it sold out every show from the whole year.
Tell me I caught the Machine story. Where did it start on Joe's podcast?
It started probably
here.
No. It started probably, it was just a story that happened. I told it I want to say I might have told it.
Where did you tell it?
On the X show. I might have tried to tell a version of it.
Oh.
It was a true story that happened probably 22 years ago.
But how did it, I know the story, but how did it actually catch fire?
Joe's podcast.
I told it
on Joe's podcast and Joe loved it. And he was like, dude, that's your act. Like that's your next special. You got to tell that story.
Right.
So I worked on it. Told it every show, made it better, told it on my hour special, and I'd already thought it had gone viral. It had like 3 million views on YouTube. Right. I was like, wow, it's never going to get bigger than that. And then on Facebook Live or Facebook, they've got like 29 million views, and then it got like 80 million views. Wow. Like it just, other people would rip it and then put it on their page.
Yep.
And that's when I was like, oh, I've never had anything that big in my career.
Right.
And like I had a clip from Travel Channel that I'd said to her in this meeting, this young lady, Courtney White, I was like, Bert the Conqueror's about to air. There's a lot of very like viral clips. Like I've been vlogging. I'm really familiar with like what could catch fire. And like, I think to her credit, she probably was like, this guy fucking is a nobody. He's fat. Like he's been on this network. He's just a corporate shill. He's just a paycheck guy. He's not creative. He's a host. I'm sure that's all the things she thought that are very accurate.
No, I don't know about that.
It would be a very accurate assessment. And then they posted one of the clips and it got 300 million views. And I was like, fuck, if they had just listened to me.
On Travel Channel, they
posted it on Facebook, and it got 300.
Travel
million.
Channel did.
Travel Channel on accident. They weren't trying to promote the series. Someone just saw the clip and they're like, "Wow, this could go viral," and it got 300 million views.
Jesus Christ.
So, but
it was
yeah.
too late by then. You were already out.
Yeah, but let's get back to you. So wait, you get divorced and then you move by yourself. You get an apartment by yourself.
Yeah, I moved into like a studio apartment. It was like all I could afford, and then I just kept just working,
making vines and stuff.
Yeah, and then like I'd say last year around again stand up, which I wish I could do it. I suck at it, and I don't.
You don't suck at it.
I don't have the constitution to do it. But I was doing stand up in November of last year, and this like 20-year-old kid walked in. And I had a good set. Like I had a really good set. Luckily, I mean,
yeah.
I could have like a great set, and then literally the week before I was fucking bombed. And he just came up to me after. He's like, "Hey, do you want to come over and do my vlog tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure," because I didn't know who he was, and he was always really funny. And then from there, he just launched my YouTube channel, and that was it.
Who's that? Is that
David? Was David, yeah. And we just became. So
does he do stand up too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he's fucking chicken as shit. He would never, ever, ever be able to
do that. And how old is
he?
he?
He was 20 then. He's 21 now.
Jesus Christ.
But I spend every moment with him. So I help him with his channel. He's got the big vlog. He's got the vlog that like everybody watches, that we all contribute to. He's got like the Joe Rogan podcast.
So you meet him, you're living by yourself.
Yeah, I'm living by myself. And for whatever reason, we really hit it off, even though he's 21 and I'm 43 at the time.
Yeah, but me and you have a very childish age about us.
I know. Peter Pan syndrome. What is that?
I don't know. I was talking to Segura the other day, and he mentioned that he was younger than me. And in my head, I was like, I forgot. I thought you were older than me because you just act so much older. Like he does stuff like buys new leather jackets. I would never think to do that.
Does he have a Lamborghini? Did he buy a Lamborghini?
No.
What was that video I saw?
He rented it to get in my head.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very funny then.
As a prank, he rented it so that I would go, the prank worked because I stared at him dead serious and was like, "You spent $300,000 on a car." I go, "I don't even know who you are anymore." And Rogan knew, and Rogan's egging me on. He's like, "Dude, this is what you get when you start doing theaters." And I was like, "Hold on, I know theater offers. I know what they are. I know my theater offers." And all I'm thinking is, what are your theater offers? Like, how did the APA get you those theater offers?
Yeah.
Like, I got pretty good. Like, I'm literally like fucking spinning out of control, going like. And then I'm like, I know you too well. Like, we've had conversations about money. I know that you're not wasteful with your money. I know he's really good with his money. His dad's a financial planner. So I'm like, there's no way your dad greenlit this. I don't give a fuck. And so,
There's no way your dad, he's in his 40s. There's no way your dad greenlit this,
his
bro.
Dad would never allow him to, like, he would have to run that by his dad. I'm thinking about spending.
How old is he?
He's fucking 40, I think, or 38.
It's just a funny concept.